Do it. Go.
Hey guys, what's up? 7stop here. Welcome back to another video from the Young. It's from the Young.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, I didn't do it on purpose.
I think it was because you had the building survival too.
Yeah.
It brought you back to your roots.
Hey
guys, what's cooking?
Hey guys, what's up? 7stop here. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about the greatest game ever created, Halo 4.
Yeah.
So this game kind of has had a resurgence. There's a lot of people that like this game, but today we're going to explain why we think this is the worst Halo game.
The worst Halo game.
That's
in our
right.
Opinion.
The worst Halo game.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, the aspect that most people praise about this game is the story, which I'll admit is definitely the best aspect. But that's not saying much.
No, it's decent. The relationship between Chief and Cortana is good. It's not amazing, but
yeah, it's serviceable. It's interesting, and some of the lore is interesting, but just overall,
it's pretty much
it.
That's
all it has going for it.
It has very unlikable characters. Like we have Palmer, who's in it and just kind of insults Chief at the very beginning. She says like, "You're short" or something like that, and then just kind of walks off.
I thought you'd be taller. That's the one.
And then like Del Rio is obviously
I am ordering you to surrender that AI.
Just annoying, and then like there's really isn't a huge plot, honestly. It's like
and
to
the
save
didact,
the destroyer,
and there's tons of cool lore about the Prometheans and stuff, and that's all great. But none of it's explained well in the game, and there's like that horrible exposition scene that's super long, and doesn't actually explain enough. And it's just like they tried to incorporate all this really interesting stuff from the lore, but they didn't explain it well enough.
They didn't,
and it's got the same problem as Halo 5, is that you can't understand the story without outside material. Like, people don't know who the heck Blue Team is. Why'd you put them in it? Unless they read the books, which I've read some of the books. I know who Blue Team is, but your average person doesn't.
No, and also
it's the same with Halo 4. Like, who's the didact? Who's the librarian? What's with the Forerunners? What's with this planet? People just don't know that unless they've researched the lore and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is the story is kind of unfocused. Like, I don't even know what the plot is to that game besides Chief and Cortana have to...
Yeah, the didact creates that big thing. Composer, that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
He creates the composer and it turns humans into Prometheans. And that's a really interesting concept, actually, how the Forerunners turned humans into Prometheans to fight the Flood. Yeah. But it's just not developed well enough in the game. Yeah. The terminals do a better job of explaining than the game does. Yeah, and there's so much like random stuff like, oh yeah, Chief has to like see that story could be summed up in like really quickly. That story doesn't have to be that long. But the thing is, this game is like super, at least it felt really long because like of all the side stuff. Part of that was the gameplay was so bad.
Yeah, but like characters have to go to point A to go to point B to go to point C. All right, so we'll go ahead and go back to Halo 2, the best. Yeah,
this is, in our opinion, the best Halo story.
So what happens is you clearly know what you're going to do. The Arbiter has to go stop a heretic. Boom, you go there. But like for Halo 4, you're like, oh yeah, you have to go do this random side quest to get this random thing to help the random boyos and stuff like that. I don't remember
what any of those extra missions had to do with the plot. Halo 5 has this issue also, among many other issues with its story. But you kind of just go places, and it doesn't have anything to do with the plot. And there's tons of filler, which is something the Actman brought up. There's like that really long filler section where you're on Sang Helios, and it just feels like it has nothing to do with the plot. And this game has that same issue, but to a lesser extent.
Yeah, and I said we do think that the Chief Cortana relationship is good. It's still a little bit like forced, like...
It starts quickly.
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden, boom, they have to be together and stuff like that. Oh, Chief can't let go, blah, blah, blah. And the writing at the end is really good. Like the part where they're on the ship deck is really nice and stuff. And there's still some really good aspects. She said that to me once
about being a machine.
Like that's really good and stuff like that. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the story.
In our opinion. Yeah. It feels like in Halo 4's story, it has no connection to the previous games.
No.
Like... all of the stuff looks different, so visually you have no connection to the games. And then all the characters that you know act differently. I mean, Chief acts like that in the books, but this isn't the books. People played the game and they expect the game character.
Yeah, and there's only 2 people from the original games. Like there's no Johnson, there's no Hood, there's no like Arbiter in Halo 4. There's no like shipmaster or anything like that. There's nothing to remind me of the previous game, so it feels like a whole new game that I'm just kind of
it feels like it just has Halo on it, but it's not Halo.
Yeah, it's a strange feeling to get across, but it just feels like you don't care just because you're like, I don't.
Just because it has no connection to what you know.
Yeah.
So between Halo 3 and 4, there was a massive art style change that has various explanations that make no sense, but regardless, and this game has so many weird inconsistencies in the art style. Like the opening scene, I believe the Actman brought this up in his video. The opening scene of the game shows the old art style, and then the new art style. It shows the new art style, but it shows something that happened before Halo 4 took place. So are they retconning it or what? Because the explanation is that Cortana upgraded Chief's suit with nanobots. This is why the Spartans look different in Halo 4.
And stupider.
Yeah. They look more generic, basically.
And they look
everything in this game looks more generic. Like the Regal Elites, they look like big, bulky monster guys now.
Yeah, and the grunts look like bubbly boyos. Bubbly boyos.
What?
They look like they're more rounded and stuff like that. They don't have like the jagged points with the top and stuff like that. They're more like rounded, and they have like weird heads and stuff.
Basically, this game was like, let's become more generic in almost every aspect.
And while the other games did have slight art style changes, they weren't anything major. Like Chief's armor changed a little bit.
I did think Reach had some pretty big alterations, but nowhere near the level of Halo 4.
Halo 4.
At least it was somewhat consistent with the other games. Gameplay. So we're going to be talking about the campaign gameplay first, which is really bad, honestly.
Oh, it's awful.
It's so bad.
It's the worst part.
The level design is really, really poor in this game.
I don't even remember.
I just remember so many linear missions. Like, I just remember that one mission where I was so excited because you got to drive that Pelican around. Fly it, sorry. You got to fly that Pelican around, and you had this big open space, but you just had to go to an objective, land, and then you went through some linear corridors some more. And it was so annoying that they teased you with that opportunity to have all this open exploration, like the second mission of Halo CE, which is pretty good and has great exploration and open level design.
Yeah.
But then you just land the Pelican, get out, and go into a linear corridor and shoot guys.
And in Halo Reach, you flew around. Like, there was that big open area that you could fight ships in.
New Alexandria, I think that level's called.
Or something
like
that.
Something else.
Space Force.
Maybe. Or no, I'm talking about the mission where you fly the ship around, the Falcon around the city. You know that one?
Oh, yeah. That one's good. And
you can go to all those like Easter egg places, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, you can go to a disco or something.
And there's just, like, again, you get to fly in space with that thing. It's huge.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool mission.
Open area. But, yeah, in Halo 4, you have that. Just linear. And also the forest. I'm not sure if you remember the forest, but it's super linear. And that's where I remember I got introduced and I had to defend against the knights or whatever they are. The awful Promethean enemies. Like, they're so annoying. They teleport away.
And the Watchers and the Knight dynamic is that you just have to kill the Watchers first, because they make your grenades useless. And I think they heal the enemies also.
They do.
And they make a shield. They generate a shield. So you always shoot the Watchers first, and you have no reason to do anything else. But then you have to face the Knights. And the Knights are some of the most aggravating enemies in Halo.
Yeah.
Up there with the Halo 2 Jackal Snipers on Legendary.
Yeah, they're awful. They have horrible like melees and stuff like that. They teleport around everywhere. And I remember...
And they're very unpredictable. They can teleport right behind you or like 40 meters away.
And I know that this is like something that I didn't realize at first, but honestly, a big issue is bloom. Like the assault rifle, if you remember, I'm not sure if you remember, but I just remembered this. The assault rifle in Halo 4 has tons of bloom. Which makes it awful to shoot the enemies. Like, you're always just kind of randomly
Halo
spraying.
Reach also has that problem, but it's much worse in Halo 4, in my opinion.
You're just constantly running around, spraying at enemies, getting one shot. And it's also kind of the most annoying Halo game.
There's so much annoyance in the campaign, at least.
Just walking down a corridor, shooting enemies who aren't fun to fight.
Yeah, the enemies are really unfun to fight. The Prometheans suck so bad in this game. They're better in Halo 5. I just complimented Halo 5. But yes, the Prometheans, they made the Knights way better to fight in Halo 5 because you can shoot the weak points and they like explode separately, and it makes it just a tiny bit more interesting to fight these enemies.
Mm-hmm. Rather than, just randomly. They feel like bullet sponges. That's the problem with Halo 4's enemies as well. They feel like bullet
especially
sponges.
the knights.
Mm-hmm. They get it the worst. But all the enemies feel more like bullet sponges rather than like elites from other games and stuff like that.
So next, we're going to be talking about the multiplayer, the balance.
Yeah. The multiplayer.
It's probably better than the campaign in terms of gameplay.
It is actually probably better than the campaign.
I've had fun on it. I don't know if I've had very much fun in the campaign.
Mm-hmm. Sprint? I don't like Sprint.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. I don't like Sprint. Halo 5, it's fine, I guess.
Halo 5...
I enjoy Halo 5's gameplay in the multiplayer.
And it can be really
it's fine in the campaign. It can be really fun, but it doesn't fit the Halo style. There's so many other games I can play that have sprint and clamber and like all these advanced movement, but I can only get that Halo style with like walking and jumping and the pinpoint accurate weapons and stuff. I can only get that very specific gameplay style of like Halo 3 and 2. I can only get it in those games. And I go back and play those games all the time to get that experience because there's no game that offers that even now.
No, Halo 4 is trash.
And yeah.
It's just trash. Like the sprint.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel
just
like...
copies other games.
Yeah, they took the basically... What they did was from the Halo 5, the fun parts of Halo 5, they took that out, and then they were like, all right, let's just keep at least sprint.
They added the fun parts in Halo 5.
Yeah, they added the fun parts in Halo 5. They just kind of kept sprint, and it's just kind of unneeded. Like, they're just trying to copy Halo 4.
In Halo 4,
Call of Duty.
Halo 4, the sprint's just there, and it doesn't have anything to do with the mechanics. Like in Halo 5, everything's based around that mobility, whether you like it or not. It's based around it, and you could see that the game was designed in that manner. And in Halo 4, I just don't feel that way. I feel like it's just there, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm just running around shooting people like in Call of Duty.
In fact, sometimes I'll play it after playing the other games, and I'll just forget that there's even a sprint and be walking around. And I don't feel like I'm really impaired that much by doing so. So why is it even there?
Yeah, there's no point.
It just breaks the balance of the multiplayer.
And then there's Bloom, which we don't like. We don't like Bloom.
But the Bloom's way better in precision weapons in Halo 4.
Yeah, which is nice. Because
the Bloom in Halo Reach, it did require you to pace your shots, but I don't want to pace my shots. Yeah. I just want to have fun and shoot guns. If I wanted to pace my shots, I'd go play a game that's got like a more...
a MOBA.
Yeah.
A MOBA. I would go play
like a more competitive, or what's the name for it? Not a
Milsim,
yeah.
Yeah,
more realistic sort of game.
But
anyway, yeah, Halo 4, some weapons they just let you spam them, and they're kind of broken, like the DMR.
Yeah,
the battle rifle's crazy good.
Let's go to balance.
But the assault rifle is trash.
It's
at range. It's kind of decent if you're really close. But otherwise, it's terrible because the Bloom just breaks the gun.
Same with the Magnum. The Magnum isn't that great.
And the suppressor, it's so bad in multiplayer. Because Bloom just destroys anything that gun had going for it.
But the
Storm rifle, which is like the version of the plasma rifle that they made, they changed everything, changed the art style, whatever. But the Storm rifle, same deal. Bloom just breaks that gun.
However, the Saw instantly melts everyone.
The Saw's absurdly powerful.
It instantly melts everyone. Like, they didn't give it like barely any Bloom, or at least if they did, the damage was just so insane that it didn't matter. Like last time I remember using the Saw in Halo 4, which is a while ago because I don't play the game. Last time I remember was like at a sleepover or something like that, and I remember whoever had it just instantly melted, and it was so annoying. Yeah, it was so awfully annoying.
It was so absurdly powerful.
Just like the incineration cannon.
Yeah, the incineration cannon, incredibly overpowered. It's basically a free kill.
Same with the Needler. The Needler's super good in this game.
So good. And yet, those automatic weapons we mentioned earlier aren't any good at all. The plasma pistol's trash in that game.
Yeah, like the weapon balance is so out of tune and out of whack. That
and the sniping sucks in Halo 4. It's not very fun because the delay between shots is so long, and it just the bloom on your crosshair. It just makes it really unfun to shoot the gun. Yeah, and something that Halo Reach really nailed. Sniping's pretty fun in Halo Reach.
Yeah, it is.
That Halo 3 didn't nail, honestly. Sniping sucks in Halo 3.
But so it does in Halo 4 as well.
Yeah, I think it's worse in Halo 4 just because in Halo 3, there was a balance to everything.
It had its spot.
And the sniper was, it had its place as a very high skill weapon. I mean, you can still get kills with it not having high skill, but it was really good in the hands of an excellent player.
Yeah.
But in Halo 4, it's just like not fun to use either way.
And so the maps there are some pretty good ones.
There's good maps. What's that one they adapted into Halo 5?
I'm trying to remember that one. I forget what it's called.
I don't remember. I like the map Exile.
Mm-hmm. That map's good. I like the Oval 8 one's fine, but other than that, I can't think of
but
any
by
other
and
Halo
large,
4 maps.
they're not very memorable. And what's that one? Like, see, we can't even recall the names. But yeah, that one with the forest and like the two buildings. I don't know. That one's like kind of a fine map. There's a lot of just mediocre, it's fine maps. There's a couple good ones. But overall, the maps are just not impressive.
Yeah,
especially for a Halo game, which usually have excellent maps.
And like as we said, those are like a few maps that we could remember. Even if I don't remember the map's name in Halo 3, I could still remember what it's like. There's the pit, and I remember Valhalla.
Oh yeah, the pit
obviously.
is in that game.
And so is Valhalla. There was that one like snow map and stuff like that. So even if I don't remember the name, I at least know what the map was. Whereas in Halo 4, I know a few maps, but other than that, I don't even remember many of them. Like there's that forest one. There's that Exile. There's that whatchamacallit. The one that they adapted to Halo 5, and that's all I can remember. I can't remember anything else.
Oh yeah, there's that one we get it in BTB, I think. It's like got that big spire. I remember we played it once, and you were like, "I'm never playing Halo 4 again.
I don't remember.
If you put Halo 4 on, I won't play." He literally said he wouldn't.
I won't.
He wouldn't play the game if I put Halo 4 on. This is an MCC.
But other than that, I have a hard time remembering the map. So, all in all, it sucks.
So in conclusion, we think Halo 4 is the worst Halo game. Feel free to disagree. Leave your opinion in the comment, of course. And I think we'll put our ranking for Halo games up.
Yeah, let's do that now. All right, so number 1, favorite Halo game, obviously.
Halo 2 for me and Sam.
Halo 4. As you can clearly tell by this video, Halo 4. But no, seriously, Halo 2 takes
Halo
the top.
3.
Halo 3, because the multiplayer is good, but the campaign isn't as good. The story isn't. And then after that, it goes...
Probably ODST.
Yeah, probably
and
ODST.
Then Reach. And then CE.
And then CE.
And then Halo 5. And then Halo 4 down at the bottom. And we haven't played Halo Wars. I played the Halo Wars 2 beta, but... that doesn't count.
I'm not a huge fan of those RTS games, but other than that, like that's how we would rank it. Halo 4 is probably dead last.
I'm sorry, people that like Halo CE. We just think it's a dated game and it doesn't really hold up.
So check out our video. I mean, it's out, but so you can find out why. But yeah, we just don't think that it's as good as people say. But anyway,
we appreciate it for what it did for the genre and stuff. But as a game now, it just doesn't really hold up.
Oh, but yeah, as you can see. Halo 4 makes its way to the bottom of the list, which we think is very well deserved. It's just not a great game.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, subscribe. As I said, leave a comment and tell us what you think of Halo 4. If you disagree, just be civil. We can get along with anyone who has an opinion that they can actually justify.
Yeah.
And at least it's better than Fallout 76.
Yeah, that's the only thing we could say. Bye.
Bye.